Hey, what's good, y'all? Ace Thunder 234. I'm about to bring y'all something more. We're gonna be last video. I think we talked about. They had this one list about top. It was top 15 wrestling games. Just one person's opinion. As much as they have a list of games, and we could touch on that for all 10 people that watched the last video with the bad audio. I'm coming in clear now, I believe so. That said, this is gonna be the worst top 10 videos according to my homeboy WrestleLamia. Shout out to WrestleLamia. He actually used some No Mercy footage I had when they were talking about the possibility way back of a possible AEW wrestling game, way before they even talked about Fight Forever or Fight Anything. Anyhow, this is going to be like I said, top 15, top 10 worst wrestling games, or top 5 or 10 wrestling games according to WrestleGamia. He used I made a No Mercy mod of what was it Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho when he popped up at All In way back before I think there was even an AEW. Anyhow, let's check this out. Matuction. As much as they talk about the different games, I kind of wanted to just talk about why people like certain things. We could touch on it from that aspect. Also coming up, because we got 2K26 coming up, I actually came across a top list of features coming up in the game that somebody liked. So we're going to touch on that. It just came out as I was looking for new videos. So let's get to all this.
Hello guys, and welcome to WrestleLamia once again. You know what? Video games and wrestling are two of my most favorite subjects. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. They've spanned over three
That's the
decades
first SmackDown
over
vs.
numerous
Raw.
consoles and home computers.
This one came out
from
right
the
after
very first
Here
WWE
Comes the Pain.
WrestleMania game on the Nintendo, released in 1985, to the now WWE 2K16 on the current gen of consoles.
Yeah, this video
and
game is
now
old. This
soon to be
video's old.
PC.
It's like 10 years old.
The
I think.
games have the
I didn't realize.
capability to relive some of history's most greatest matches ever told. Not only that, but creating dream matches that could never be possible. Not all games, however, hit the mark, and some have left permanent scars on how absolutely awful they were. So instead of looking at the best,
You know what the problem with them? The first Here Comes the Pain. The first Here Comes the Pain took out the first game after Here Comes the Pain. The first SmackDown vs. Raw. The problem was they took out a lot of features. The curation stuff. I guess wasn't hitting the same way. But it was amazing how, even though it was on PlayStation 2, the graphics really did improve a lot. Like if you look at the first SmackDown vs. Raw compared to the first actual PlayStation game with WWE, I think Just Bring It, of course, Just Bring It. Great improvement in graphics, but I don't know. It's just the whole arcadey thing. You know what I mean? And this is maybe a couple of years before they dropped the general manager mode and all that with 07. The first SmackDown vs. Raw is I believe this is the 04 one. I always get them confused, 04 or 05. Anyhow.
let's dive into the depths of the poo bucket that is rubbish wrestling games and relive the top 10 worst wrestling games of all time. Number 10. Legends of WrestleMania. Who doesn't love a bit of nostalgia these days and hope to relive the glory days of wrestling where all you needed was a pair of arms bigger than a python and a couple of Steve Weisers? Many wrestling games have come and gone which always focus on the current roster at the time, but most people wanted a game to commemorate the many legends who have stepped into the WWE ring. Enter Legends of WrestleMania, a game which most people like myself wet their pants over. Finally, we were gonna get a game that would showcase the best WrestleMania matches of.
I remember that this game was compatible with SmackDown vs. Raw 09, but I forgot exactly how and why, because after the switch to more of a somewhat slowed down simulation, after when 2008 came out. By '09, I kind of had a fatigue to it. Like '09, you had to do a whole bunch of crazy. The career mode didn't make any sense. Starting like 1,000 movies, it was unbalanced the way you're supposed to build up your characters. Like I guess aura or whatever. It didn't make popularity. It didn't make sense. So let me see what was wrong with this one over here.
All time. From playing as Hulk Hogan vs Bundy in a steel cage match at WrestleMania 2 to The Rock vs Austin at WrestleMania 15.
They were heroes.
The champion against the challenger.
They were larger than life.
The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
It feels like as if they made an entire game based around a whole bunch of showcase mode unlockables. You know what I mean?
They were superstars.
Look at the disdain on the face of Andre.
They were
The
giants.
tagline for the game was that you could relive, rewrite and redefine classic matches from the past. But what looked good on paper didn't quite deliver, as expectations had been set too high from the previous games at the time. The game looked great for its time, showing the wrestlers in a more cartoonish, figure-life way, and knowing that they would be created and published by the same people who brought us the SmackDown games. To us hardcore wrestling fans, it gave us more hope that we would get the Legends game of our dreams. The game offered a deep insight into the history of WrestleMania, but the gameplay overall was bland and repetitive, as 90% of the matches you played were determined by short quick-time events. Moves were also limited and all actions were simplified into just 4 main buttons. The coolest feature of the game was that you were actually able to import the current roster from the SmackDown vs Raw 2009 game straight into the Legends game, and with that you could create a number of dream matches.
See, I don't understand. If they had like a different... So if you had moves on the '09, what exactly would happen when you had that? How did the gameplay change from one to the other? I don't understand that. As far as importing goes, I thought I heard a report that you were going to be able to import your created characters from 2K25 into 2K26. Looked it up, haven't heard it. Been looking up at features all day. Dev interviews in the whole nine, so I haven't heard that yet. I was looking to talk about it, post it, and celebrate that notion, but so far, broadcast mode and 2,000 creation slots, and maybe the gauntlet being able to unlock the showcase. See, I don't like the fact that you can't just unlock the showcase shit. Like, for people like me that run an EFET, I got plenty of things to do. So you don't need to have me grinding modes I don't want to play when I just want to get my HLR content together. I don't get that. Anyhow, let's talk about TNA, I guess.
Number 9. TNA Impact. I'm not a huge fan of TNA wrestling, but after seeing some of the screenshots during its alpha stages, I couldn't believe how realistic the wrestlers could look. I was almost refusing to believe that they could ever deliver such graphics at the time. The game, to my surprise, did actually deliver in the graphics department, and boasted that they would only have motion captured moves, which was a big thing at the time.
Yeah, I remember hearing that AJ Styles actually motion captured. I think AJ Styles and somebody else, because you know everybody knows AJ Styles is a big gamer. Speaking of big gamers, I remember him at WrestleMania 35. They had him playing he was playing one of them 2K games around the time on the big screen they had at the entrance ramp. That shit was nuts. Like screen larger than life or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Nuts. Anyhow, I heard the problem with this game was that the move set was too limited. So I guess they did all that motion capture, but didn't capture enough motion. Yeah, that's the thing about games like that. We've seen this before. Games that look beautiful, but as far as what they bring to the table, imagine like it kind of reminds me of Fight Forever. Like If they actually took time to add more to the game, maybe the game would have had more to offer. I mean, it is what it is. Anyhow, let's see them talk about what they didn't like about it. I never played this one. I don't know. I don't know. I think I was a little frustrated with Impact as a company because a lot of stop and goes. This is right before Hogan came in and ruined the shit and made it about him. And I think they made the Nasty Boys tag team champions, the Outsiders, or some crazy shit like that. It was ridiculous.
The game also brought in the company's most famous match.
No. It was the one where they put the show up against Monday Night Raw, and it just showed where they were compared to WWE at the time. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. That's why you got Joe Hendry just eating RKO's in like 4 minutes at WrestleMania.
Type, the Ultimate X match. This seemed awesome. These advancements, however, hindered the gameplay hugely, as there were only a handful of moves which were actually motion captured. That meant that gameplay actually became very competitive and lacked replayability. Reviews for the game ultimately ended up being mediocre and garnered scores in the mid-60s at the most. The game was to spawn a sequel and announced by Midway Games in July 2009. At the time though, Time Warner had purchased the majority of Midway, and this did not include the TNA license.
It's wild, Midway, because I believe those are the people that made the WrestleMania arcade game. It's wild seeing certain companies come across wrestling games decades apart, and I mean, interesting. But man, they would have added more moves. That's the thing. TNA had some of the most innovative. I remember around the time when Petey Williams first had the Canadian Destroyer, and even though TNA was an underdog, smaller company, that move and the aura around him and the Team Canada and the whole nine. I mean, that was why it was called the. I think Petey Williams was from like Texas or some shit like that. But meanwhile, the Canadian Destroyer, because Team Canada and the whole angle behind that. You know what I mean? And I remember WWE tried to bury it by having they had some redneck guy, Trevor Murdoch, the guy teamed up with Lance Cade. They just threw some tag team together to help, I guess, put over DX. I guess DX beat them like 100 damn times. It was ridiculous back when DX came back. That was one more reason why I didn't like the 09 SmackDown. I think DX was on the cover with those glow sticks and all that bullshit. Then God came down and blew out Triple H's quad. I said, I believe in God. I believe in quad. Anyhow.
TNA had no choice but to look for another developer, that being South Peak Games, which released TNA Cross the Line. But this was only for the PSP and Nintendo DS. Hopefully for the future, maybe they may come out with a better TNA game. Number 8. WWF In Your House. Wrestling games during the early 90s were slow simulations where most of the games would only include a few moves and their finisher.
I disagree with that. It weren't slow simulations, but they were games that had limited moves and then had the finishing moves. Like in the 90s, you had a WrestleFest. WrestleFest was fast-paced, it was wonderful, and it had the moves in there, but it had limited moves. Plus, it was an arcade, so you know what I mean. Like you didn't have create a. I don't think you had create a wrestler until like Fire Pro somewhere like in the 90s, and then somewhere like in Japan. So you even have it in America. Like a lot of people say, like the first create a wrestler was in WWF Warzone. Man, somewhere it's something like that. Maybe I gotta go look it up, something like that. But anyhow, this game right here, that was the thing. This game right here, it's wild to use this as an example because LJN games in general kind of, were known to games to get licenses and then fucking blow and then fumble them shits. Just look up LJN's X-Men for NES. That shit was fucking terrible. A matter of fact, just look up I think Angry Video Game Nerd. We got a whole video where he just cooks in general LJN games like this, where this was a series of games. it kind of got better as it went along, but the first one didn't even have finishing moves. Super WrestleMania for Super Nintendo didn't even have finishers. It's crazy. And matter of fact, the problem with these games is that they were more arcadey and beat 'em up with the side scrolling shit, because a lot of these games didn't have grounded grappling. Like you couldn't go for like submission moves on the ground like that, really. That was one thing that WrestleFest did have, though. You know, it was an arcade game. You had like tap the buttons together and stuff like that, but it is what it is.
It would seem that every wrestler you chose would play the same. Developers Midway Games changed this formula with an over-the-top arcade wrestling beat-em-up, and in 1995 released WWF WrestleMania the arcade game on a number of platforms.
Yeah, I was gonna say Midway. I know it's gonna go. I know it was gonna be the next game coming up. The thing about games like this was that they had the over-the-top. Matter of fact, he might show the over-the-top bullshit in a minute. I think he does.
8 to be exact. The game had literally taken its influence from Mortal Kombat and featured digitized sprites and ridiculous moves, where the gimmick was literally part of the wrestler. The Undertaker would hit his opponents with actual tombstones. Razor Ramon would slice his opponent with a razor. This wacky style of gameplay was well received by some and not so with others.
Yeah, it didn't take that. It was the same people that made Mortal Kombat, but the direct inspiration actually came from it being the same people who made NBA Jam. NBA Jam had the digitized over the top type of style like that in the arcade. That had success, and even after they didn't do the digitized games with the over the top version of actual sports or actual sports entertainment, they even later on had NFL Blitz. NFL Blitz didn't have the digitized; it had more of the polygons, looking like a PlayStation game or whatnot. Around that time, after this, but it still had. NFL Blitz is honestly my favorite NFL game, which is crazy because somebody was telling me how WWE All Stars is their favorite wrestling game, which is I've never played that. I couldn't get into an over the top wrestling game. You check this page, you'll see Fire Pro. Like I like the how they're able to get the feel of a wrestling game and to have that as a game. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, Midway even had another one. What was it? They had the NBA game with NBA Jam. They had the NFL with Blitz, but they also, I gotta remember, even NFL Blitz had the Mortal Kombat characters on there, and the Raiden hat and all that crazy shit. But they even had a hockey game as well. So that was more what this game was more in line of them taking all those sports. Major sports franchises and such like that. That's what it wasn't really Mortal Kombat as much.
In fact, when I played through this for footage, it was really fun and generally regarded as a pick up and play to just kill a couple of minutes at a time. Well, Midway Games followed with a sequel, which was WWF In Your House. Unlike its predecessor, the game felt worse. As you can see, those big high quality sprites have been chopped down. The arcade style format had also been turned up, with rings filling up with WWF icons which would act as power ups and also grey icons acting as power downs. Instead of being in an arena, superstars would wrestle in their gimmicked home, such as The Undertaker wrestling in a crypt or Shawn Michaels at the Heartbreak Hotel. Thank God Val Venus wasn't in the game at this time. Like WWF WrestleMania, the game included commentary, but at this time it included both Vince McMahon and Mr.
You know what's crazy? They got him running around like that, but they didn't have it. These guys really run the ropes in real life. Somehow they didn't get him. He didn't run in this ring the way he really run. They really run the ropes in real life. That shit is weird as hell. I don't know, but yeah, that digitized stuff. What's weird to me is that I wish they would have you'll see them do something like this. Kind of reminds me of this got worse as opposed to what they did when they got the WrestleMania 2000, and then you got the rest of, then you got No Mercy, and then you got them improving. I wish if they would have wanted an arcadey kind of beat 'em up style, I would have liked it if WWF had got in contact with Capcom, because one innovative wrestling type of arcade theme that Capcom had was the Saturday Night Slam Masters. Saturday Night Slam Masters really innovated a new type of hybrid of like a arcade beat 'em up Final Fight type of deal, but they're the people who made Street Fighter, so they were able to have a really in-depth fighting system. And yeah, you hit the ropes. It's a shame that Capcom, they literally went with the people who made Mortal Kombat as opposed to the people who made Street Fighter, and they might have had better success with that. You know what I mean? Anyhow.
It's perfect. But to be honest, it's not like you want to hear the commentary, as all you can hear is stupid shit like this.
You see Vader hitting them ropes? Looks crazy.
The game just seemed less than mediocre, and overall felt less rewarding, as matches would easily come down to hitting one or two moves over and over again for a win. It was clear that the fans felt less interested in these titles and pushed more towards the simulation. The WWE would actually not explore this arcade type of wrestling game for some time until 2011 with WWE All Stars. Number 7. WWF European Rampage.
Yeah, I'm surprised they went so hard with an arcadey style as opposed to a game as good as... See, that was the thing. They went with a game that started out okay and then got worse. Like a better example I meant to bring up actually was the classic arcade game WWF Superstars. Matter of fact, I was mentioning WrestleFest. WrestleFest is a sequel to a game made by the people who made Double Dragon. I only just found out that in fact WWF Superstars was actually built off of Double Dragon, the original Double Dragon from the arcade, which makes sense because they actually have Double Dragon mods where you can just put WWF Superstar sprites which look exactly like Double Dragon characters because they're made by the same people. And it's like, oh man, they were gonna go by surefire people who make arcade games and have a track record of being able to make certain things happen. If they would have stuck with the people who made if they would have made another, it's like the same way they could have made another game after No Mercy, they could have made another game after WrestleFest. You know what I mean? As opposed to what they end up coming out with after the fact. I mean, I guess after No Mercy, all we had was Here Comes the Pain and, you know what I mean, SmackDown, all the SmackDown versus Raw games. It turned into them only having one thing. Like, one thing about when the 2K series started with the SmackDown series on PlayStation 1, and even back then you had options. I mean, I say the same time No Mercy came out was the same time the last PlayStation 1 game for the what would later on become the 2K series, to the point where he mentions earlier WWE 2K16. It's wild. 2K16. If you play this game long enough, you actually see moves in 2K16 that are all the way back in like Shut Your Mouth or Here Comes the Pain and all that. Like some of the moves like DDT 07 or some shit like that. You catch a flashback. Anyhow, speaking of a flashback, this old ass game.
Page 2. Released on home computers only, WWF European Rampage Tour was strongly focused on tag teaming, where you faced various teams in London, Germany,
I have no idea
and
what's
finally
going on.
New York, which is kinda strange since it should be only a European tour. Sounds fair, but not when you're left with only 4 choices of wrestlers. This enormous roster includes Macho Man Randy Savage, The Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, and Bret Hart. Once your mind has calmed down from the unlimited choices, you're left with some really horrible gameplay. In fact, I don't think you could actually call it gameplay, as matches have less interaction than a paper flip book.
That looked crazy. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the early, I'm trying to figure out how late in the game it really took for you to really see wrestling games where they focus on like mat work, mat technique. It's like just striking a person enough to maybe get off a big grapple move or something like that. You know what I mean? That was a problem with some of the early games. They didn't really get that. It was way before UFC had people appreciating Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and shit like that.
Career mode named One Player Tag Team Contest is so intensive that it takes a whopping half an hour to complete, and this includes all cutscenes and load times. At least in all fairness, you face different opponents such as the Nasty Boys, the Road Warriors, Money Incorporated, and the Natural Disasters. But you face them 3 times. Replayability my ass. Number 6. ECW Hardcore Revolution and Anarchy Rules.
Damn, you put both of them in there. That's the thing though. If you was gonna put them in there, you almost could put Warzone and Attitude, because they weren't really that much better. I think it was more just a disappointment. You know what I mean? Along with the fall of ECW altogether.
ECW was always known to be the cool, edgy federation where anything goes, and took wrestling to a more adult level. The federation though was low budgeted, and it seemed that this also reflected on their games. Running on an already old ass WWF Attitude engine, the game was an exact carbon copy with...
It wasn't old, it's just bad. Fire Pro's older than all of this shit. It has a better engine. It was just terrible. It's a perfect example. This is what was wild about this, that this proved that if you had good animation, you don't even need the motion capture. I remember when WWF Attitude was about to come out, and they were like, "Oh, the Hardy Boys do all the motion capture for this game." I'm like, "Okay, I like the Hardys," and they were like on their rise. Like $100,000 No Mercy ladder match. And that's the whole thing. Speaking of that, No Mercy actually animated a lot of this, the Attitude Era moves and such like that, and the moments and all that a whole lot better. Like you can go on, I guess Google search, they put the thing, or they put an animated GIF with the side by side of the game along with I think The Rock. It was The Rock getting hit with a stunner. Not the crazy cell one, the regular one. Or the one with I think even Vince hitting Stone Cold with his stunner when they had the crazy feud and all that crazy shit, and it's like side by side, it's accurate as hell. You know what I mean? And then they had this looked all choppy and clunky and weird, and it's like, and the same thing with the graphics as well, because graphics don't fix good gameplay, because I think he mentions on here that they put this game on the Dreamcast and it still looks like shit. I got the Dreamcast emulator on here now. It does not help it. It still looks... It's crazy to go back and look. And it's wild how they even had all the extra intro, because you were able to put the photo footage and all that, compared to, I guess, how it looked when they had it on Nintendo 64 on a cartridge. But this game was still chopped. And it helped put ECW out of business. Almost the same way that, I don't know if he has WCW Mayhem, but it's wild when a game is so bad and it comes out at a time when it only helps hurt a company so bad to help put them out of business. And that's what happened with ECW in this game right here.
Which they lazily pasted ECW wrestlers and logos and gave it a much more grungier feel. The game somehow felt choppier and generally worse than WWF Attitude, with Acclaim not bothering to take any time or effort to polishing it off.
I'll say one thing on you. One thing they did do, they did add new moves. Even though it just had a whole bunch of the moves already in there, but that's just how bad the engine was, because having all the old moves from either the New Japan moves and the WCW moves, when WWF got the Aki engine going, that helped them a whole lot. Because you had all kinds of taunts and moves all in there. I remember No Mercy having about 202 taunts. Because they actually number them compared to like, you know how you make outfits on or hair on 2K and you can't find the name or the number of it because it's hard to find? Yeah. One thing that helped, that benefited WWE from getting the Aki engine after the other companies getting kind of fumbled it, because a lot of the good Japanese games are good, but unless you now have an emulator and somebody to patch the game in English with a code or a Game Shark code or whatever the hell, you can't even play it no matter how good it is. Even the like the Day of Reckoning 2 game, the Wrestling Kingdom game, that's only for PlayStation 2 in Japan, as opposed to the WWE Day of Reckoning 2 that's only for GameCube. And the graphics are good, the moves are good. Matter of fact, that was what's so crazy about them adding new moves to this one, to Anarchy Rules, was that I remember the very first time you ever see the F5 in any video game is in ECW Anarchy Rules. I forgot what the name of the move was. I said, oh shit, that's the F5. It's literally a fireman's carry into a DDT. Yeah, but they add new moves, just the game was chopped.
The game's follow-up in 2000 was named Anarchy Rules, and would you believe it was exactly the same thing?
Quintessential stud muffin during what promises to be an extreme night of wrestling.
A few new additions had been inserted into the game, such as various new match types, including table match.
The problem with the game was that it had those complicated button combos just to do a damn move. Like No Mercy beat the crap out of them by simply having a universal grapple system that just worked for everybody, just depending on what moves you had. Plus, smooth as yo, I'm about to play some WrestleMania 2000 at the end of this shit. Just to I don't know. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. But yeah, how fluid. We were talking about it on the PlayStation party about how clunky even 2K is, just moving people around and all that crazy shit. I want you to see how smooth the old Aki game is real quick. But yeah, let's wrap this shit up real quick.
Inferno match, a dumpster match, street fight.
They had a dumpster match before 2K26. Why you do my boy New Jack like that? Look at this. I think he's using New Jack too.
Lion's Den. The game still, however, played as shitty as it previously did. It even got a release on the Dreamcast, where the graphics had been given a slight polish. Overall, ECW fans were continuously let down by the lazy shortcuts made by Acclaim.
Yeah, it looks like Nitro. It actually looks like WCW Nitro. All you gotta do is have them guy wrestling a bear or wrestling inside a beehive or some crazy shit, or having that crappy camera that spins around the ring all the time. Terrible.
Unfortunately, wasn't the last we would see of Acclaim, as shortly after the WWE purchased ECW and WCW, we would get the Legends of Wrestling series. Number 5. WWF Steel Cage Challenge. This title was actually the first game to introduce a steel cage, but not just any cage, the awesome blue bar cage that we miss in current day wrestling. It's just a shame that the game literally boiled down to a button mashing frenzy.
That's actually, it says acclaim, but it actually plays like the, I don't know if you mentioned it before, he had it earlier on when I was talking about wrestling games in the 90s. This actually plays like the LJN, Super WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and WWF Raw games. You can tell by the eye rake and the way he had the elbow drop in the lockup. I never played this. It looks chopped.
But not only that, it mainly becomes a punch and kick affair. In fact, most matches the opponent just watches you climb up the cage, meaning that matches only last a couple of seconds.
Yeah, like I was saying, in hindsight, none of these games had like grappling where you grapple the opponent on the ground or any kind of mat work or like that. Even like, I'd love to know exactly how Bret Hart in this game applies the sharpshooter. He probably just punches him and kicks him enough. You know what I mean? Like, does he? I doubt he sets it. I doubt he even like sets it up with like a Russian leg sweep or something like that. You know what I mean?
Number 4. WWF Raw.
That's not WWF Raw. That's WWF SmackDown. Just Bring It. I wonder where he's gonna go with this. Yeah, that's not Xbox. That's PlayStation 2. What happened?
Not to be confused with WWF Raw on the SNES and Sega Genesis. This was a WWF Raw made for both the original Xbox and, strangely enough, the PC, which hadn't been given a title since WWF WrestleMania the arcade game, released in 1995. This game can also be considered as being far worse. When getting straight into a match, immediately you will notice an overall sluggish feel of the wrestlers and animations. Most of the entrances make it seem that you're
What I didn't like about this game was that every time somebody put up a fake, it will put up a fake mod. Hey, you can download WWE 2K15, and then it will just be this bullshit. You might actually see people in the comments going, "Oh, this is fake. It's just what the fuck." A lot of people for the PC spam and put this up as a fake game, posing it as something else. What was weird is that the camera was so fucked up. You know what I mean? And that yeah, like people modded this and added new kind of stuff, but it's unlike No Mercy where you could you can mod in damn near quality of life features, and stop the blinking and all weird graphic errors and new moves, wake up taunts and all that crazy stuff. You couldn't really do that on here. Like all they could really do is just add. I remember you could add music to the shit. You could do all that, but you couldn't really make it. All you could do is make it look different and sound different, but you couldn't make it play any better. That's kind of why that's why I like No Mercy more than Here Comes the Pain, because I'm still waiting for them to be able to mod Here Comes the Pain to improve it with like better graphics and all kind of features like that. As much as they could with No Mercy. I've seen them add new moves, and you know what I mean. Like it looks like PlayStation 2, but it got Roman Reigns and the Shield and the whole all that crazy stuff. But like with No Mercy on the PC, you could add new graphics and the whole shit. It's just you shouldn't do more. I wish this did more. It's just I think they rushed this game out was a problem. They didn't have enough time to polish it out. Like they all walk around with their knees all bent and it looks weird.
Wrestlers' stance looks like they're holding a dump in their trunks as they make their way down to the ring. Features of the game are non-existent. Granted, the graphics were a step up from the other games at the time, but when you look at what was included in the game, it was appalling. In fact, some demos actually included more featured content in their games than this. it's no secret that the game looked immensely rushed. Originally intended to be a launch title for the original
Oh, it was rushed.
Xbox, due to the WWE's copyright infringement at the time, led to numerous delays, pushing back the game's release date from November 2001 to February 2002. Even with all the delays, the game had still a lackluster number of arenas, that being 2.
The crazy thing is, the graphics actually look better than the way Shut Your Mouth came out around the damn time. Even Here Comes the Pain. Here Comes the Pain that never really had the really best graphics. It just had some fun gameplay that still stands the test of time. Games like this kind of look good when they stand still. Maybe a screenshot of it, but look how it plays and look what it offered. Look what it offered people.
Both The Raw is War and The King of the Ring, with The King of the Ring only being a logo change of the Raw is War arena. There are no fun match stipulations, no ladder, no cage, no Hell in a Cell, and no season mode. All these features were actually promised, including blood, which was taken out due to numerous lawsuits at the time regarding injuries to minors. Overall, it was clear that the game was an unfinished product, and when compared to titles like Here Comes the Pain, it could blow it away.
It actually kind of reminds me of Day of Reckoning. Day of Reckoning had some really good entrances, but they kind of all walked kind of funny. You know what I mean? But I had so much fun playing Day of Reckoning back in the day. But it had its flaws. It wasn't perfect. And in my opinion, it was a better sequel to Day of Reckoning than the actual Aki engine going on to Def Jam and whatever the fuck like that. Yeah, the entrance kind of looks good, except he just walks with his legs all funny. And where's the Titantron with the whole Y2J stuff going on? Looks like it reminds me of a 2K entrance when you run out of custom Titantrons to use for people. I don't like using other people's Titantrons. I'd rather just make a total blank one. You know what I mean? It looks kind of weird. Like, that's not Cora J. That's, I don't know, Butch Bannon, whoever the fuck. You know what I mean?
WWF Raw may not be regarded as one of the world's worst wrestling games, but it can be agreed that it was wholly disappointing. The game's follow-up, Raw 2, had a massive improvement on everything that actually should have been included in this game, and was much more well received. Number 3. WWF Betrayal. Well, the WWE have tried an arcade approach to their game.
See, I don't know. Like, if this is a WWE themed game, that's one thing, but I don't think that makes it a wrestling game. Like, kind of like what was it? The Crush Hour, whatever the fuck. That's a racing game. It just has. I guess Vince just got paid off of it. That's all.
A simulation style to their games. What's next? Oh, a Double Dragon ripoff. Again, another game where developers hadn't done their homework and believed that what wrestling fans would really want in their game. All this game seemed to do was to climb aboard the cash cow that is other successful beat-em-ups and replicate them. The problem is that most beat-em-ups are actually enjoyable, as they have much replayability, branching storylines, or unlocking secret content. WWF Betrayal would have none of that, and the player would only have access to 4 superstars.
The problem with that game is that most beat 'em up games, the move sets are repetitive. But with a wrestler, you got a whole bunch of moves on there, kind of like Beats of Rage. They make they make fighting game characters into beat 'em up games, and because it's a beat 'em up, it's a fighting game character, maybe with a whole bunch of iconic moves, like the Mortal Kombat beat 'em up game by Streets of Rage, Outworld Assassins. You can do all kind of moves on there, uppercuts, they could throw a spear, throw fire at people. To pull your mask off and do the fatality in the middle of a fight. It's crazy. I think the problem was that if you were gonna make a WWF beat 'em up game, like he just mentioned, a Double Dragon ripoff, and they had games made by the people who made Double Dragon. They could have made this game back then if they were gonna do it. It's crazy.
For the exact same storyline, the only difference being that each character had their own moveset and finisher. The story played out like a bad episode of
It just looks bad. Like this could have been any beat 'em up game. It would have looked trash, but trying to throw WWE in it to kind of, give it life. They put this on the list of bad wrestling games when it's not a wrestling game. It's a beat 'em up game.
Raw. Stephanie McMahon has been kidnapped, and you, being either The Undertaker, Steve Austin, Triple H, or The Rock, must rescue her, with the reward of Vince giving you a title shot at the end. The game was poorly received.
That stunner is terrible. You know how Jim Cornette said Stone Cold does bad kicks? Jim Cornette should see Stone Cold doing these kicks. It looked terrible. And that stunner, what the fuck?
Due to its poor controls, repetitive gameplay, and was almost immediately forgotten about. Number 2. WCW Nitro and WCW Thunder.
Now the only good thing about this game is whatchamacallit, bringing up the rants when you pull it up. Like I think I have this on one of my computers, and I'll just open it up just to watch the rants. They talk their shit and how some of them didn't even know that picking them means that you actually have to play with the person. And it's like the same guys who try to sell merchandise. Like, you want to buy my shirt? My shirt's gonna kick your ass, buddy. You're trying to get your thing over. What are you talking about? They didn't even explain what the hell this was. They thought they were having like a match with a PlayStation. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I'm hoping they actually show the Beehive and how bad. Like I said, this is gonna damn near look like a faster paced version of Attitude Warzone or the ECW games. Just. Oh man, and yeah, but I think they actually did have some type of ground grappling. Well, imagine that, some mat work. Anyhow,
WCW was on fire in 1997, so what better way to showcase this than a video game covering one of the best rosters of its time. At the time, the two leading consoles were both the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 64. WCW World.
How is he not playing the rants? He has to play the fucking rants. It's the best part of the whole game, and also why it didn't work out that good on the Nintendo 64, because you couldn't use the CD to put the video, to put the rants on there. You know, and they talk their shit when you pick them, when you decide whether to pick them or not.
Tour and WCW vs NWO Revenge, who were both developed by Akai, were an absolute hit on the N64. Naturally, PlayStation owners were jealous of the N64 titles and were salivating at the chance of a good WCW game. What they did get.
What I didn't understand is that the very first wrestling game by Aki was on the PlayStation. Like, I remember having a PlayStation and coming across WCW versus the World and going, this shit, it didn't have all the bells. Kind of weird because they didn't get all the controls down and whatnot, but it was good then. I remember hitting the Steiner screwdriver with I guess Habanero. It was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be Hayabusa. It was, yeah, because they were doing the the Japanese. I guess I want to know if there's a Japanese version of WCW versus the World for PlayStation, because you probably get all the Japanese names as opposed to all the crazy. It was wild. I remember it was, bad. Bad. It didn't age well. What they did was, I think they had a version, a fake version of Road Warrior Hawk, and they put that his finishing move was called the Overdose, and it's like, rest in peace. I mean, rest Road Warrior Animal Hawk, because he that's how he passed away. So it was like, yeah, weird shit. Anyhow, speaking of weird shit, show the B. Show how fucking awful this game was.
with WCW Nitro and WCW Thunder. Right off the bat, the first thing hits you is the graphics, which are a blurry, pixelated mess, with most noticeably the crowd looking like blotches of what resemble humans. At least thankfully, most of the detail went into the wrestlers, which look mostly like their counterpart.
What I want to know is, does he have the game sped up? I remember they had those dumbass combinations to do the moves. Like I tell you, if they would have kept the cameras still and made a universal control style, maybe that, I don't know. Anyhow, plus another game where you don't walk to the ring with the walk to the ring, or you don't walk to the ring with the title. Like, I want to talk about 2K26, how they're talking all these new entrances, and you can shoot the pyros off, but can I make a custom entrance while wearing the championship? Anyhow.
Fortunately, this is where the praise for the game stops, as the gameplay is absolutely horrendous. The wrestlers move and play like they're on speed, with animations just looking so stupid and awful. The game surprisingly garnered a sequel. WCW was to be a PlayStation exclusive, making it seem that PlayStation owners will get another slap to the face with this abomination. The game seemed to be an exact carbon copy of Nitro, with only a few differences being in the gameplay slowing down a notch and adding in the Thunder Arena and new match types, including...
I'm not gonna front. I'm Ace Thunder. I really did like the presentation of a game. It's just too bad it sucked dick. And like I said, bad wrestling games that help put companies out of business, because what happened was they didn't have the Aki games anymore. Like WCW Revenge is considered the greatest. Like, some people like that as their favorite wrestling game, at least out of the Aki era, bad enough, especially WCW. But these games came out after Revenge, and it wasn't just these two on the PlayStation. It was also that not Mayhem, but the Backstage Brawl for 64. So you put about 3 horrible games plus about 3 bad years, them losing money, just what they were actually putting on TV. Bye bye WCW.
Including a cage match and weapons match. The game still sucked balls though, as the graphics were still held to be a blurry mess, and the developers would still add their nonsensical amount of secret playable characters, including these dudes. WCW Nitro received mediocre ratings, whilst Thunder received an abysmal rating. Even the official PlayStation magazine, who are known to give generous scores, gave this pile of dookie a 1 out of 10. 2 truly disastrous games
1
and
out
a
of 10.
well-deserved spot at number 2.
Oh, I was gonna say, what is rank?
Number 1. WCW Backstage Assault. Oh boy, where do you start with this abomination of a game? What do you think the one single biggest component of a wrestling game is? Well, how about having a ring for a start?
It's wild too, because people are just talking about how they're complaining how the new 2K26, they haven't revamped the Create Arena. So yeah, imagine a game with no damn fucking ring at all. Put these people out of business. They went from having a game with no ring to a company. I remember Eric Bischoff wanted to buy WCW, but they told him he could buy it, but he couldn't get any TV time. He said without TV, the company's worth $5, $2, nothing, because what am I going to do with a company I can't put in the ring? What were they doing with the video game where they couldn't put it in the damn ring? Bye bye WCW.
WCW Backstage Assault is what it says on the tin. In this game, the developers felt that, hardcore matches are the big thing in wrestling at the moment. Why don't we just have a game completely dedicated to just backstage fighting? To be fair, it didn't sound like a bad idea, as hardcore matches in the WWE were popular due to the Hardcore Championship and 24/7 rule. WCW of course borrowed the idea in late 1999 and wanted to capitalize on its success.
The thing about that is that they got the hardcore from ECW, but they also got some of the greatest technical wrestlers from ECW, and even ECW, who maybe they had low budget, they sure as hell provided variety. You didn't just get some of the greatest technical wrestlers to come from ECW to go to WCW and then go to WWE and become world champions, but they also helped introduce the luchador wrestlers. You still see Rey Mysterio. Hell, they're talking about the new entrances featuring Dominic Mysterio. How, if anything, they don't have the side plates working on his belt or whatever. You literally see Rey Mysterio wrestling right now. How? Because ECW knew not to just put a bunch of hardcore shit, but they knew to put variety. You damn near got you got your dollars worth going up in that ECW arena, because you were going to see all kind of shit. And that was the whole thing. ECW had smart fans. This whole internet wrestling community shit started with ECW, because a lot of those fans, look, they could appreciate wrestling even when it was low budget or was violent, because everything else they knew that they brought to the table. Matter of fact, they ran off Eddie Guerrero out of here. Eddie Guerrero is such a good technical wrestler. The guy goes from ECW to WCW to beat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania for defend his title. The guy defended his title against a guy who walked in there with Olympic gold medals. And as much as that whole spot with the shoe coming off, I remember going back watching that match and thinking, no, this whole match cooked. Eddie Guerrero wrestled his whole ass off that whole ass match. Why? Because he came from ECW, bringing technical wrestling with the luchador as well, that also help, you know what I mean, Ray honor him when unfortunately Eddie passed away. So yeah, this game right here, just focusing on just hardcore wrestling, if you would have gave ECW the damn budget, they would have came better than this bullshit right here. It's a shame.
There was only one problem. Everything about the game was poo-poo. From the disproportionately sized wrestlers to the choppy animations and laughable control scheme. No features were seen within the game. One-on-one matches is all you're gonna get. We can understand that there can't be any cage matches, apart from climbing the cage in the media room, but don't tell me you couldn't add a triple threat or even tag match. Not only that,
You knew this whole company was chopped if you had DDP Wrestling NWO member Don Harris. Don Harris, how much fucking heat did he have?
but half the wrestlers are locked, which mean you had to play through the awful hardcore gauntlet or challenge mode a good number of times until you actually met that opponent in a fight backstage, defeat them, and then unlock them. In fact, if you really wanted to unlock Eric Bischoff, which I'm sure everyone wanted to do from the start, you would have to...
And you see, I said move unlocked. There goes another game where they had the motion capture, but the animation just looked terrible. Looked awful. I remember back then they had those guys in the whole, the suit, and the motion capture suits and the whole nine. But it's like, when the game comes out, what the fuck? It's terrible.
Complete a hardcore challenge mode on hard difficulty with Vince Russo, with the final boss being Vince McMahon. I kid. But you want to know what's awesome? Doug Dillinger is unlocked from the start.
Yeah, this joint's chopped over here.
On a serious note though, the game was unfortunately a reflection of the company at the time, which was dying. Game reviewers absolutely berated the game, with many giving low scores.
You know what's crazy? It's by EA Sports. You look at EA Sports, they don't even have NBA Live anymore. All they got is Madden. Hell, Madden's dead. I mean, the guy is, but hell, I remember people saying that NFL 2K5 is actually damn near has better features than Madden does. But then again, 2K games and features we wish were in a game. We'll talk on that later. Let's wrap this up.
And I'm talking about 1 or 2 stars here. Poor WCW fans have this as their last commemoration to the company. A company which one point almost put the WWE to rest. A company which at one point had one of the best wrestling games to date.
See, that's the thing. What? I don't understand these companies that had people who were making them good games and didn't follow up. I don't know why they didn't have the people who made WrestleFest make them another damn game for WWE. I don't know why in the world WCW let the Aki engine go to WWF right. They took the ratings. They took the ratings right along with them. By the time No Mercy comes out, No Mercy had the Radicals. It had Perry Saturn, when Perry Saturn, Benoit, Dean Malenko, and Eddie Guerrero all left all in one thing. Like, and that ended up damn near having more of an impact, or just part of more of an impact than the whole, what was it, the NWO fucking leaving Hogan and Nash and the whole nine and all that. This was crazy, bro.
Was now reduced to this pile of doo-doo.
Well, yeah, that's WrestleMania, and like I said, bye-bye WCW. Anyhow, you don't mind, I want to wash the taste of bad wrestling game out my mouth. Let's play some WWF WrestleMania 2000. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Ace Thunder 234. I'm back with a little bit more. The badass entrance. I don't got my leather jacket. I don't even got my dreads. Something else different about me too. I remember the first footage of them talking about they were going to have WWF using the Aki engine. The first footage on the website was Billy Gunn hitting the Famouser and then doing the DX pose, the real fast one. Let me see if I can do it on here. I was like, oh my God. That shit blew my damn mind. It'll blow my damn mind. Awesome. Work my way into some light grapples. Just want to go in there with a big one. That's how you get reversed. I got this guy on Twitter. Yeah, I think it's Melon something. He was breaking down a whole bunch of hidden features about these old Aki games. How the reversal works, the system, the actual mathematical coding of how things are reversed. It's got reversed. Oh. Got a pieced up on that one. That's all you got? Oh, okay. I'm about to get that X-Pac heat. Oh, damn. It's like that, bro? I don't know how long this career mode lasts on here. I ain't gonna find like something like this. Get in there and just work being on the road for a while. Like, I don't know if the game ends when you get to WrestleMania. I don't really played it that far. Just wanted to try something. I was dabbling with the superstar mode with the universe mode on 2K26, and I don't know. I don't like playing with one character on there. Doesn't feel as fun because the gameplay isn't as smooth. So I'm gonna plan on this and having more fun. I want to go back. I want to just Maybe work a body part or something like that. There too, so I'm into grapple him right away. I'm grappling too soon. If I get close, I'm gonna just go right in there. And smooth transitions, well, smooth as you can get. What you want? Seen Billy Gunn do blackface of Devon Dudley over in TNA. I'm like, and then you found out his son's saying racist ass shit too. I'm like, okay. And then he actually did blackface of The Godfather on Halloween. I'm like, damn, bro. Mr. Blackface ass. That's something for your blackface ass. You can black off him. You don't want to tap him out. You don't want to get to your ass with that belly to belly. See, I like how it's built on the momentum, not just how hurt you are. One thing I like about Fire Pro is that if you get the guy hurt enough, you can just go for your move. The reversal is based on how hurt they are, which kind of tells the story of the match. You know what I mean? Even though it's Fire Pro, as far as the simulation goes, it pretty much gives the feeling of a wrestling match, even though it's fucking Super Nintendo graphics on a PlayStation 5. And even oh motherfucker. Well, I went ahead with that. Make him see if he can pass the test. He passed the test. He passed it. Test bomb that is. Rest in peace. I want to work his body out some more though. Working out a little something. Come on. He started running. I was like, oh, you scared? I'm trying to play with him. I'm gonna blow somebody's mind here. I'm gonna blow this shit right here. Look at this. I'm sorry, you just can't do that in 2K. Like, I got the PlayStation 5 right here. I got it. Don't hit the damn sandwich. Oh yeah. Oh shit. You didn't take count of that. And you felt besmirched. That's right. There's that in the corner. Get out. Reverse this shit. Smooth. See what I'm talking about? Knock the shit out of my special. Turn up. I like that though, because he'll have all that momentum because he turned up. But then you can knock him the hell out, especially on No Mercy. No Mercy do all that bullshit, you can knock him smooth. Damn. Just trying to grab him. Flippy bullshit. I'm trying to, I want to work a body part. Turn up, motherfucker. You doing all that hype shit, but he hurt. See all that? That's what I'm saying. He got more momentum. Grip still hurt, motherfucker. I'm still damn near fresh. Hell no. I'm all on. Matter of fact. Come on, man. I'll be on some shit. Well, I might even get him outside the ring. Man. I get momentum being outside though. Still look kind of soft. Yeah, soft. Me soften up his that. Just soften him up out here. Like I can do that, and then go right into this shit right here. That's what I'm saying. You got my ribs hurting too. It's all good though. I'm trying to fuck his head up. That shit might have done it too. I'm gonna really fuck your body up if I hit you with this shit. What the fuck? I'm greedy. Let's see if I can do it. No, the other one. Oh, fuck it. Chicken wings up. Oh, fucked up. What was that? The one move. Oh, well, it's all good. I'm just gonna rock this shit. I ain't trying to have that bullshit. Let's hear about the belly bell. I like that reversal. That was smooth. Hell no. Rock my shit. Hold your bullshit right in place. And be giving them the cheap ass heat too. That was bullshit. Ain't games that give the computer a bullshit advantage. I mean, do two moves all of a sudden, he got all the heat in the fucking world. Look at this shit. He got two in a row. Where's that, bro? I'm getting jerked. I'm getting jerked. Bruh, he can't turn me around though. Oh, I got lucky. Catching everything I do now. Now my shit all the way on blue on some bullshit. Blue green. What the I should have held down to the button. Oh, they're tapping and tapping. In a bad spot though. I'm thugging it out. Look at this. What's up? What's up? Oh! Guy rock. Playing with the one. You said, aren't you supposed to be black? The black off your ass. You're gonna be locked in, huh? Lock this. I ain't getting no heat for that. Got corny. Got him outside. Damn. Are you gonna do me like that? Oh, you gonna do me like that, bruh? Good. Yeah, slammed up. Hell no. That's why I'll tap your ass out. Not my ass. Ugh. Atomic my ass. Oh. He's taking me back and forth. You know he's gonna give him that shit. Oh. Back out the damn ring. Look at this. Give me a war. There it is. Mother. I can't get up. Oh, I can't get up. No! I got tapped out. Held the thing down to sell the move. But then when I got up, it wouldn't actually let me get up the move. I was selling. I'm really selling. Say run that shit back. This shit's so random, I'm gonna let me do it though. Road Dogg. I'm beating Road Dogg's ass. I'm gonna do it quick though. Why your homie did me like that? You fucked up my YouTube video. You make the season more hard as hell all of a sudden. Look at this Road Dogg. What are y'all doing, bro? Some Ken Shamrock, I can't throw him around. Bro, what are y'all doing? So that's what I'm saying, bro. Unbalanced fast gameplay. That is what it is, though. In a fucking gauntlet mode or some shit. You unlocking something? What are you doing? Yeah, let me get him. I got greed. Why am I? Come on, bro. Yeah, I'm dizzy. I don't like when you do the extra modes, all of a sudden the extra modes, they're harder than they ever been. Like you do my faction where all of a sudden you can't beat a person with steel steps and the whole nine. I'm like, come on, bro. That's when my faction shit was bullshit. And you really can't pin people no matter what the fuck you do to them. And shoot them in the fucking head, they get kicked out. All because you want to rig the fucking bullshit to keep me in the goddamn server. It's corny, bro. making me so mad. I'm about to fuck this nigga up. I'm gonna do it quick too. I was trying to have some fun, but alright. Yeah, that shit was corny as hell. My man got like 3 specials in 2 seconds. I'm gonna fuck something up. He was in blackface too. Come on. I don't like how they can reverse no matter how much momentum they have, because I don't like that shit. Fucking blue reverses to drive me fucking nuts. Taking his ass with me, bro. So fuck you up. And the trick is to have light grapple moves that got high impact. Just reversing with fucking blue. Come on, bro. Cheap as hell. Cheap needs to trip out of here real quick. I'm fucking you up. That's what it is. Matter of fact. Oh, come on, bro. What fuck? Come on, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Bro, can you stop? What the fuck? All that dumb shit. That shit corny, bro. I'm ready for that shit now. You know I'm fucking cheap as a motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck you up. I ain't even finished it yet. I don't even wanna do that. I ain't done. I'm gonna hurt this motherfucker so bad. First things first, choke the shit out your ass. Get you in the fucking middle of this ring, folks. Get you in the fucking middle of this ring. And he got half a fucking finish off of that bullshit. And just like that, ooh, just like that, huh? Just like that. Motherfucker will kill you. Should give you more fucking time. Extend your bullshit. Choke your fucking. Get up. Get up. Get the fuck up. I'm not done. No. Come on, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm gonna smooth on that shit. All the moves are smooth. Had to get up, huh? When I hurt him, I gotta break him. He's still reverse. Bullshit, bro. Don't these fucking games. That was the only cheap shit they did do, just give the computer a bullshit advantage. That made no fucking sense. Really, bro? How am I even on the ground, bro? He even hurt me yet. And just like that, he has half a fucking finisher? What the fuck is this, bro? Come on, what the fucking ring, bro? Come on. Can't reverse that. do tricky bullshit. Let's do tricky bullshit. Reverses. Come on, bro. Can't reverse that. Reverse that shit. Well, guess not. The fuck? Marta said I shouldn't even be on the fucking ground that fucking long. Why does he have a fucking finish, bro? This is bullshit. I got that close. It didn't even hurt me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You can grab me. Bro, come on. One. This has been Ace Thunder 234. Like, share, subscribe. Back with more. Kidding me? Wow. Aki Gaming, bro. Smooth as a motherfucker.